Welcome. This is Hina Sami. I am working as a destination specialist in Aussizz Group. I would like to thank you all for sparing some time for this session. Thank you so much. I'll be starting now. We will be joined by Ms. Saru Jindal, a QEAC certified senior course advisor with over 7 years of specialist experience in international education sector. Through her skills and specialist knowledge, Ms. Saru Jindal has helped countless international students in achieving their study goals in Australia. Welcome, Saru. We will also be joined by Mr. Linden Tolhurst, Senior Business Development Manager, Subcontinent and Middle East, Torrance University, Australia. Welcome, sir. Our experts will be waiting to take your questions. Please post your questions in the chat box and we will answer your queries at the end of your sessions. Also, we have some very exciting giveaways for our attendees. We want to take the session deep and interactive, and we encourage questions and feedback. We have bumper cash prizes to claim for ones who have leave the most descriptive review under the Facebook post. I'll share the link below. Tag your friends and also tag Aussizz Education Summit 2022 in the comment section along with your feedback. Also, the most participative audience member from chat box is eligible to get free giveaways such as free PT coaching, IELTS coaching, PR consultation, etc. We encourage you to come be a part of our summit. I'll take over to Saru from here.
Thank you, Hina. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I would like to welcome all of you to Aussizz Education Summit 2022 for Australia. I'm Saru, and today I'll be talking about accounting and HR courses and careers. I'll be sharing my screen now. Do let us know in the comment section if anyone is unable to view. Okay, so accounting and HR courses and career in this. Now, two very important, very pivotal careers in today's world. Any industry you talk about needs an accountant or an HR personnel working there. So a career which can take you to any industry, not just a basic accounting industry, not just any HR industry, but a career that can take you to multiple industries. The industry you can choose, but yes, you can work as an accountant there or you can work as an HR there. Our bumper contest, just want to remind the audience again, please do participate in both these contests. Do make sure I'm sure all of you have a Facebook page, have a social page where you can tag us, tag our event and give your insights about our event. And then the giveaway alert, please do participate in the chat box. Do ask as many questions. We'll try to answer all the questions if possible and if the time permits. But then if just in case we are not able to answer your question today, our team will definitely be getting back to you after the summit to answer all your queries. Thank you. So starting off with accounting, a multi-sector career, as I mentioned, the sector you can choose. You can work as an accountant in any sector of your choice, in any industry of your choice. Accountancy is a unique function as this skill is essential in every industry, every organization, whether big or small, doesn't matter. But every organization does need an accountant. Working in varied sectors, be it public service, organizations, government or charitable organizations, be it in financial services, personal or private banking, investments and pensions, be it a public practice, firms that provide services to a wide range of clients, any sort of public practice industry, organization, be it in corporate, in-house positions within for-profit businesses. So you can work in the corporate sector as well, or even the shared services in finance, in human resources and IT. The teams are combined, resulting in cross and upskilling for accountants. When you are working in such organizations as an accountant, just imagine the kind of upskilling that you'll be doing for yourself, the kind of cross the cross platform information that you'll be getting, because you'll be working just imagine you are working in an IT company, but you're working there as an accountant. How much knowledge would you learn? You would not only upskill yourself in accounting, but you would have all this information available from different industries that you're working in. You may be working in food industry as an accountant. So the kind of information, the kind of knowledge that you'll be getting in is amazing. So that's what I said. You can pick and choose the industry you want to work in, but you will still be working as an accountant, and plus you'll be upskilling yourself into various roles, into various product information about different industries. Now, what are the pros of an accounting career? Obviously, the first thing which everyone looks for, a healthy income. Graduates from a bachelor's or a master's of accounting, they can expect to start off as 50,000 per year package. So that is just a basic package that you'll be starting off with. But then obviously it depends of, your education, the kind of efforts that you put in. But that's a basic package that every accountant can get. On the job learning, plenty of upskilling options. The accounting industry champions, they continue their education. You know, I would not say only accountant, I mean any job that do nowadays. Unless and until you keep upskilling yourself, you cannot see yourself growing in the industry. The same is in accounting industry, but then more so in accounting industry, you not only upskill yourself in your own field, but you grasp so much industry information about different fields. So you have plenty of opportunities of growth. A free business education. Now, this is very interesting. As an accountant, when you get to work for a business, you know the inside view of how the actual business operates, because you know how much profit a business is making. You know how much loss a business is making. You can see all those spreadsheets. So you understand the internal, the intricate working of any business that you are working as an accountant in. So you get that free business education. You don't need to do an MBA. You have studied an accounting degree, and you get that information just by working as an accountant for a business. No career ceiling. The scope of working in multiple sectors, public companies or private practice. You get to foray into audit, tax, healthcare accounting or general company accounting. So a degree which can take you places, which can take you into any sector you want to work in, even healthcare. Now, why I was mentioning that, when we come to the courses, you will understand. A student who has a bachelor's of IT but wants to work into accounting now can still do a master's of professional accounting. You don't need to have a relevant background. Rather, that combination will work wonders for you. So what are the courses in accounting? Bachelor's of Commerce, a Bachelor's of Accounting, a Bachelor's of Business with accounting majors. So, a combination of business and accounting you can see here. Or a Bachelor's of Commerce and with a dual degree, a Bachelor's of Law. Accounting can go hand in hand with so many degrees. So that is why there are a lot of dual degree options available for these students. In masters, the courses are Masters of Professional Accounting, a Masters of Commerce in Accounting, a Masters of Management with specialization in accounting, or a Masters of Accounting. Now, when it comes to entry requirement of these courses, as I said, first thing is do not need to have a relevant background. Anybody and everybody can study accounting. Even if you don't have a bachelor's of accounting, you can still pursue a master's of professional accounting or a master's of accounting. Whether you are from IT background, health background, or any sort of business background or management background, you can still study an accounting degree. And so that is when it talks about academic entry requirement. When it talks about English requirement, it varies from provider to provider. We have Linden today from Torrance University. I'm sure he'll be talking about the entry requirements when it comes to Torrance University. So every course, every provider may have a different entry requirement, but mostly the academic requirement remains the same. When it comes to English, for bachelor's, mostly the requirement is an IELTS 6 or an equivalent score in PTE, TOEFL, all these other exams. And for a master's, with some universities, they still accept IELTS 6 for a master's, but with others, they require a 6.5. So depending on the provider, but then you can have that equivalent score either in IELTS or a PTE, or even TOEFL IBT. Depending on the, most of the providers, they accept all these exams for an accounting degree. But then, yes, you have plenty of these course options available, and these courses are available throughout Australia, whether you are looking to study in the cities like Melbourne, Sydney, or Brisbane, or you're looking to study in regional areas, maybe Tasmania, Canberra, you're looking to study in Adelaide. There are public universities, private university, and the other private colleges also, which offer these degrees. But the most important question is how to find the right accounting course for you. It's very important to choose the right course. It's very important with so many, when I've talked about so many options available. Okay, which is the right option for me? How would you select whether this is the right option for you? First and the foremost important thing is that the course must be accredited by industry's head professional body, which is CPA, Certified Practicing Accountant. The course should definitely be accredited if you're looking to, get your skills assessed. The graduates of the accredited program will be able to get an associate level membership, professional membership with CPA, and then they can attain CPD and industry networking opportunities as well. Hugely beneficial that the program should be a minimum of 92 weeks duration. Just make sure that the program is registered for 92 weeks on crack course when you check that. Obviously, you get the PSW advantages then. you know we'll be talking about more in detail of this in the our adjoining migration session, but then just make sure when you choose the course wisely. It'll be really good if the course has work-based learning, any internship, any capstone projects, because that will be important for your professional enhancement. Look for the institute's ranking, their reputation, and most important, the graduate employment outcomes, because that is what you are looking at once you complete your qualification. Look for institutions' career service, industry partnerships, and a strong alumni network, because these things are a huge plus if you get. So do take all these steps into consideration when you are choosing the provider that you want to study with and the course you want to study. Obviously, if you're working as an if you're looking to study accounting, what are your career outcomes? You can work as a management accountant, a financial consultant, a business analyst, a public practice accountant, senior accountant, financial accountant, general accountant, or taxation accountant. There's so many options available. As I told, there are so many industries, so many sectors you can work as an accountant in. But then, does Australia really need accountants? Absolutely, and a resounding yes. Yes, Australia still needs accountants. Geoff Palmer, the founding director of Richard Lloyd accounting recruitment firm, explains that pre-coronavirus, the agency had one role for a new graduate per month, but now they are recruiting around 6 graduate accountant roles per month. So that's a rise 6 times. Similarly, the recruitment companies Hays, they report that accounting is among the top 3 priority position employers are looking to hire in a post-pandemic world. So top 3 priority positions, that's really counts a lot. The employers looking to fill accountancy and finance roles over the next 12 months, they nominated financial accounting and reporting as the most prioritized positions. So if you're considering, consider financial accounting and reporting. That is something which is to be considered as one of the priority positions for the next 12 months. Here we are talking about the actual job market statistics. So this data has been taken from ABS as of November 2021. In November 2021, there were 194,361 accountants working in Australia, which was a 5% rise in the last 1 year and an 8% rise from the last 5 years. So, even though people believe that accountants are not required, the employment in this field has been rising. An 8% rise in the last 5 years is not bad. And when you look at the earnings as an accountant, you always, whenever you do a course, you would think, okay, how much am I going to earn? An average pay of 1,660 per week, which is definitely higher than a national average pay of 1,460. Now, I won't say every student would earn that much. Some may earn less, some may earn more, but this is what an average adult wage is like, and this is per week. Obviously, there is a strong future demand for accountants in the next 5 years. As per National Skills Commission, many professional occupations were found to be in shortage, but there was a strong future demand which included all these occupations. So you can see accountant general, management accountant, taxation accountant, internal and external auditors. All these occupations are going to be in huge demand for the next 5 years at least. Now, if you look at this table carefully, there has been, now this is from again National Skills Commission's finding. In all these states, there has been a shortage of accountant general, management accountant, or taxation accountant, and the future demand is strong. Also, there has been more shortages for accounting in regional Australias as compared to urban areas. So there are more jobs available. You talk about the regional areas here like Coffs Harbour, which is in New South Wales, Geelong, which is in Victoria, and Adelaide, which is in South Australia. There has been a huge demand for accountants in these places as compared to the urban areas. So, if you're looking to study, you could be looking at regional areas, obviously giving you better opportunities. And not only, from your migration or other aspects, but also from your career point of view, there are more jobs available there as an accountant. So we have spoken about accounting. Now we'll be going into human resource courses, which I said is another very, very in-demand occupation. And you can work into any sector. So both of these occupations we took because you can work in any sector, any area that you want to work in as an HR. What is the basic purpose of human resources? Human resource management department is the top priority for any organization. After all, employees have always been the greatest asset any company has. So if you love the people, you would have a good HR department, and it should be a top priority for any organization. There are many important functions of an HRM, which include staffing needs, obviously recruitment for the company, the compensation, dispensing wages as per fair work standards, benefits, that is developing rewards and employee benefit packages, performance appraisal, which is the performance management, which is very important to keep your employees happy, and last but not the least, law compliance, the workplace safety and fair and equitable treatment for all. These are the major role, and I would say very, very important key roles for any organization, which are managed by the HRM department. Now, if you want to work in HR, what are the courses that you should be pursuing? At bachelor's level, it's mainly Bachelor's of Business in HRM, Bachelor's of Human Resource Management. In Masters, Masters of HRM, Masters of Business Administration with Human Resources major, Masters of Management with Human Resource, and a Masters of Human Resource Management and Industrial Relations. So the names are different, but more or so the courses are almost the same that you'll be studying in human resources. Again, these courses are available throughout Australia in cities as well as regional areas, and the basic requirements remain the same. You may be for any background, but you can still study a Masters of HRM. You do not need a specialized background in HR to pursue a Masters. Now, what will be your career outcomes? You could work as a human resource manager, a staffing director, a technical recruiter, a compensation manager, an employee relations manager. You could be the director of the HR training and development, a human resource consultant, a human resource specialist IT, or an HR business partner. So these are just a few positions that we have highlighted here, but there are many more available in the human resources department. Okay, again, talking about the job market statistics, these jobs are highly rewarding. If you look at the earnings, just look there. It's 2,464 per week, which is an adult average wage which you'll be earning, which is way higher than the national average of 1,460. I mean, $1,000 higher than that. So just if you look at this pay scale, I mean, I'm sure everybody of us would be like, wow. this is a department where you should be working in. But yeah, do understand not everybody would get that pay. Some may get lower, some may get higher. And obviously, once you would get a low way once you start off in your career, but with experience, you will definitely be getting to that and even more than that. Now, when we look into the national employment data, if you're working as a human resource manager, there were 116,288 people working as an HRM in November 2021, which was a 12% rise from the last 1 year and a huge 75% rise in the last 5 years. I mean, that is a huge rise. There are very few occupations who have had this rise, and this is a massive, massive demand. Somebody working in as an HR professional, there were 82,564 people working as an HR professional, which was a 19% rise in the last 1 year and a 28% rise in the last 5 years, which is a huge rise as well. So as you can see, in the last 5 years, the demand for this occupation has been increasing day by day. Regional-wise shortage in HR, there is a shortage of HR people. As per National Skills Commission findings, NSW, New South Wales, and Northern Territory, they have skills shortages for HR advisor and recruitment consultant roles compared to other major regions. So if you're targeting any specific region, then NSW and Northern Territory should be the ones from career point of view, from finding a job. It's not that you won't find job in other areas, but then these two areas, they have special skills shortages and as an HR advisor or as a recruitment consultant roles. Okay, then what is the future? Now, future demand occupation, you can see that out of the total 48 different business, HR or marketing occupations which were reviewed by National Skills Commission, okay, 54% of the occupations were found to be in strong demand and 46% in moderate demand and 0% in soft demand. So out of the total, different 48 occupations which were reviewed, 54% of them were in huge demand. So that is a very, very good demand for this course, for this occupation. And that's about it. That's about the today's session on HR and accounting occupations. We can see that for both these occupations, there's a huge demand. And the option, the one thing which is very, very exciting about this is that you have the option to work in any industry. So when you have that option to work in any industry, that means there is a demand for this occupation in every industry. For accounting, you just don't need to work in finance or banking, but you can work anywhere. You can work in IT industry, you can work in healthcare industry, you can work in food industry, anywhere. Any industry you name, you can work there as an accountant. And the same goes for HRM. A human resource manager is needed in every organization. Could be a small organization, could be a big organization, but everywhere an HRM is required. So just highlighting again our contest for today. I won't go into details, but then Hina would have shared all these links with you in the chat box. Please go through it and please do ask as many questions as you can. Thank you. I'll just stop sharing my screen because we have a very important guest, Linden from Torrance University, who would be giving us more details about the courses available with Torrance University. Hi, Linden.
Hi, Saru, and hi, Hina. Nice to see you both. I know we're all here in Melbourne, but we're all in separate places.
Yes.
Okay, should I start sharing my screen then?
Yes.
Yep.
And while Linden is sharing his screen, I would just like to let everybody know that we do have one of our students from Torrance University who has joined us as well. So after Linden's presentation, we'll be having a one-to-one questions from the student who will be sharing her experience of studying with Torrance University.
Fantastic. Can you see the presentation okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you so much to the Aussizz team for inviting me on to give this presentation today. I've worked closely with the Aussizz team for many years now, and always a joy to work with. And their students really do get the best scholarships, the most credits. They most importantly they go into the courses that is ultimately of benefit to them for whatever their desired outcomes are. So if you're looking at studying courses in this area or indeed courses in other areas, please, I honestly do encourage you to check in with your local Aussizz team. They're all in all the major cities in Australia and elsewhere. So without further ado, do a quick introduction to me, just so you know who I am and what I'm going to be talking about, and then I'll go into what you're probably far more interested in, which is the courses on accounting and human resource management. So there's a very quick introduction. I've actually had an updated title since last week. So I'm now actually the Associate Director of International Recruitment, looking after the subcontinent region. I've been with Think Education and Torrance University for coming up on 10 years now. And I've been sitting with the international team for 4 years. Now, before that, I was looking after the alumni program and the industry engagement program. And the reason that I mentioned those is there's two very important points that Saru brought up in the presentation, was around key points to consider when you're looking at where you want to study, and alumni network being a very important part of that, as well as that industry engagement piece, that industry immersive education that you get. And so that's something that I can talk to you from firsthand experience working at Torrance University, but I can also tell you about from the course structure and everything. So without further ado, going in. So Torrance University, Australia. Now, a little bit of background. So we're Australia's fastest growing university. We started with international students and indeed domestic students in 2015. We started with one international student. Now, he put his faith into us to deliver him the course that was going to give him the outcomes that he wanted. Now, since that time, we've grown. We have over 300 courses at diploma, bachelor, master's, and PhD levels. So why would you want to study at Torrance University? So we have access to a global network of students. So we have alumni all around the world. We're also part of a larger educational organization called Strategic Education, Inc., which is based in the United States of America. And so we're part of a big educational family. Industry placements with some of the most influential brands in the world. So what we have at Torrance University is our degrees are set up to make sure that as you study, you are immersed within the industry in which you're going to seek to enter upon graduation. So there's no separation. There's not that you do your course and then you go and get a job. There's not that distinct sort of bifurcation. There is, you go into a course with us at Torrance University, you are engaged with the industry throughout your course, and then you go off into the workplace as a full-time or part-time employee, depending on what you're wanting to do. Now, what that means is that you are constantly engaged with the industry. The next thing is that we have success coaches. Now, every single student has a success coach. Success coach is basically somebody who is there to mentor you and support you throughout your entire course. Now, that can be about the career you want to go into. It can be how to structure your subjects to make sure you can specialize in areas that you want to, you're most interested in. They can be someone to talk to about, assistance with submitting particular pieces of work, different things like that. They're there for you to go to for your entire course and beyond. All right. We currently have 11,000 international students from 110 countries. Now, it's important from an international student perspective is that we don't have any single large population of students within our campuses. We actually have a very high mix of international students, because that's important for you as an international student, because you want that international student experience. And watching this, you may be Indian or Sri Lankan or Nepalese, and you could be watching this and saying, well, okay, cool, I want to come to Australia, or I'm in Australia, I want to study at a university. What I could say at Torrance University, you'd be sitting there as say, for example, an Indian student. You'll be next to a Colombian student. You'll be sitting next to a Chinese student, next to an Australian student, and so on. So we really have that really sort of high mix of international students and nationalities represented. Now, overall, we have, well, it's actually a little bit more than 19,000 now. It's closer to 20,000 students. So it's a really nearly a 50-50 split between international and domestic students. The last 2 years, we're voted most innovative, one of the most innovative companies in Australia. So what that means is we adjust to the environment around us. And I'm not, it's beyond the scope of this presentation, but we at Torrens, we are able to change as the industry changes. We keep up to date with that. Now, the most important thing here is postgraduate 90% employment rate upon graduation. Now, that's important because the way that we measure that is that students who 6 months after graduating are either employed in the field related to the course that they just studied, or are employed in a field in which they wanted to go into. So that's not just that they are employed. It means they're employed in a position that they wanted to go into while studying their degree. So 9 out of every 10. It's a very, very, I think, important statistic to look at. And work placements, as I was saying before, 3,600 industry contacts where you can do your placements depending on which course you want to do. A little bit of recognition. The most relevant one here will be one of the top global and online MBAs in the world. The other things I'll leave for you to read, and if you're interested in doing courses in other areas, by all means, get in touch with the Aussizz team who can come and talk to me. Why study in Australia? Earn money while studying. Students can work up to 40 hours per fortnight, but at the moment they've actually removed that, and there's uncapped working if you're an international student. Now, Australia has 5 of the 30 best student cities in the world, and Torrance University have campuses in 4 of them: Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and Adelaide. What you can see here is that where our campuses are, you can see the different courses that are available everywhere. Now, this is important for 2 reasons. It provides flexibility for you as a student to decide where you want to study. You can study in any of those locations, and the vast majority of our courses are available at least multiple locations, if not all. And the courses I'm going to be talking about today are available at all locations apart from Lura. Now, that also provides you flexibility while you study, so that you can decide if you need to move from Sydney to, say, Adelaide, you're able to do that with no interruption to your studies. Now, what I'm going to be talking to you today are both basically fit within our business faculty. So I'm going to be talking to you about our Bachelor of Business, our Bachelor of Commerce, our Master of Business Administration, and our Master of Professional Accounting, which Saru noted in her presentation around the types of nomenclature you might see related to accounting degrees. That's our Bachelor of Commerce and our Bachelor of and our Master of Professional Accounting. All right. Now, I'm going to go into the courses next, but I'm wanting to just sort of present this to you because this actually ties in exactly with what Saru was saying about human resource management and about accounting. Because what it means is that you don't need to be an IT professional to work in IT. You don't need to be a wedding planner to work in the wedding industry. You don't need to be a social media, programmer or something like that to work in that area. Human resource management and accounting are needed across all fields. And that's the real beauty of the business faculty, is it sets you up to go into the industry that you want. So I've got an MBA, for example, and I work in education. I'm not a teacher, but I work in the education field. And so that's what your background can get you into. And that's what human resource management and accounting can do. Right. Now, career outcomes. Studying at Torrance University, 95% of our graduates agreed that their post-completion matched with their skills and professional goals. Vast, overwhelming majority felt that they were prepared to go into the industry. They're happy with their job, and they are getting promoted and they're getting pay rises. So all of the things that you could potentially want, enjoying it, you're getting paid well to do it, and you're getting promoted within the field, if that's what you want to do. Again, industry placement, leadership skills, management skills, and being engaged within the industry. Now, there's some career outcomes which I'll skip past because they go a little beyond the breadth of this presentation. Just to give you a bit of background on our academics, this is our chief academic for the business. Faculty, And just some examples. I'm going to just go and say this again. We are just incredibly connected to our industry. All of our students have opportunities to work with some of the most well-known organizations on the planet, not just here in Australia, but abroad as well. All right, now, accounting. So at the bachelor level, we have a Bachelor of Commerce, and it's a specialization in accounting. So we also have a finance specialization, but for today's presentation, what we're talking about is about the accounting specialization, which is CPA accredited, which means you can register with CPA and also CA, which is Chartered Accountants as well. So what that is indicative of is that sort of presentation or representation that you have with the industry and the acknowledgement from the highest standard of accounting in Australia, and they acknowledge the academic excellence of this course and allow graduates from this course to register with them. So there's a couple of things that I'll mention here. These bachelor level courses, the structures are primarily based on a 10 core subjects and 14 elective subjects. Now, all you need to do is to complete those over 3 years and then you qualify. But the important factor here is that we have an industry placement component where you actually will work within an accounting firm, if indeed that's where you want to go, or at least within the accounting function within an organization. Now, although I have this course structure for all of the courses that we're going to be talking about, I just want to highlight here the course structure. So what we have at Torrens is we have a trimester structure, which means that you still do 8 subjects over the year, but it's broken up into 3. So typically the suggested study pattern down here is, say, 3 subjects, 2 subjects over a year. However, you know, that's up to you how you want to structure it, as long as you do 8 subjects. Now, this is for 2 main reasons, or there's 2 main benefits for you as a student. Now, the first of all, it means that the workload is actually less, which means you can pay more attention or provide, you know, more time and effort to 3 subjects rather than 4, which is a traditional semester model. The other thing is that although the cost over the entire year is the same, your out-of-pocket cost per study period is slightly less, which makes it more affordable for you, as it breaks up how much you need to spend on your tuition over the course of, you know, each time that you need to pay, sort of like a slightly more of a payment plan rather than paying for 4 subjects straight up. So it makes it a little bit more accessible. So it's 3 12-week study periods, and then you get still 2 and a bit months break over the Christmas period as well. So that's the accounting component that we have. And I could go into all of the industry stuff, but you know what, Saru did just such a fabulous job explaining it all that I don't want to repeat all of that to you. All right. Now, Australian, you know, human resource management. So you'll see this at both the bachelor and the master degree, is that we don't have a strict specialization as such within our business courses. What we have are a Bachelor of Business and we have a Master of Business Administration. So the reason I'm talking about this is they're designed to be generalist courses that you then specialize using the subjects available to study what you want to study or what you want to specialize in. So the reason that I'm saying this is within the Bachelor of Business, you can then go on to specialize in whatever you want to do. So there are core subjects that are required within business, finance, you know, marketing, you know, leadership, and those sorts of things that are a part of any sort of business degree, be it bachelor or masters. But within the, you know, within this, what you can do is take the subjects that are core, you complete those. However, you can structure your electives to align more with your interest in human resource management. So within that, you can go, there's 10 core subjects. There are 14 electives. Within those 14 electives, I want 6 of them to be related to human resource management. So that will be, you know, organizational development. It'll be management of people, of teams. It'll be managing remote teams. It can be innovating teams in the workplace. There are just different subjects that you can do within your bachelor degree to make sure that you are able to specialize within human resource management. And you can see that the course structure is the same, although within the Bachelor of Business, the industry placement is a little bit sooner. Same goes. Everything that I just said about the Bachelor can be applied to the MBA, although the structure itself is slightly different, where it's 10 core subjects and 6 electives. Same thing. There are a number of different electives that you can structure your course to make sure that you then specialize within human resource management. When I did my MBA, my interest was in project management. So I structured all of my electives to focus on project management. That was just my interest. But you can do the same thing with human resource management. You can see it's a 2-year program rather than a 3-year program. So like Saru was saying, it meets that threshold to be eligible for post-study work rights as well. So you'll look at the advanced program, and that's the 2-year program. And then the Master of Professional Accounting. So this is the 2-year program, again, recognized and accredited by the CPA and CA, Chartered Accountants. Same course structure. It's 3 trimesters, 8 subjects per year. In total, 16 subjects. Upon completing the degree, you can then on and meet the skills assessment to register with those professional bodies, which are the industry standard. All right, program requirements. Now, I will go through these with you, but to be honest, the best thing you can do is go and speak to your local Aussizz branch, and they will talk through which documents are required. What I will say is that to get into the undergraduate program, the main thing that you'll need is an Australian equivalent Year 12 and the English proficiency for entry into our Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Business is IELTS 6.0, no band less than 5.5, or a PTE equivalent, although we accept a range of different official English tests, whichever you have available. And then in terms of supporting documentation, as required, the Aussizz team will request that of you, but for the most part, there's no work experience requirement or anything like that. These are bachelor level courses. You're not expected to have relevant work experience. You just need to have the Australian Year 12 and meet the English proficiency as well. Postgraduate is the same, except the English requirement is slightly higher. 6.5, no band less than 6, or a 58 PTE, or for example, need a cognate bachelor degree, which is recognized by NUSA. So depending on where you're from, that may be a 4-year or a 3-year bachelor degree. If your degree recognized by NUSA is an equivalent to a slightly lower qualification, an associate degree, then we do have a pathway that you can do. Not a foundation year as such, but it's a graduate certificate pathway that you can do, which the total course duration is the same, except you get 2 qualifications. So instead of the 16 subjects, you do 4 plus 12. But again, that's a case-by-case basis, and not too many of those qualifications don't meet that direct entry. Now, the management experience for either the MBA Advanced or the Master of Professional Accounting Advanced, there's no management experience requirement. If you choose to do the shorter one, which is about 15 months, then there is a work experience requirement. But overwhelmingly, international students do the 2-year program because then you get the benefits of the post-study work rights. Again, the supporting documentation, please talk to the Aussizz team and they will go through that with you. Now, we have a massive range of scholarships available depending on what course you're doing, where you want to study it, what your grades in English are. There is a whole spectrum of scholarships that are available to you. And so I won't go into all of them because it really depends on all of those different factors. So again, I know I keep saying this, but every case is individual. So please talk to the Aussizz team, and they will submit and they'll get you the maximum scholarship available to you for your applied course. Now, just one final thing. We have flexibility. We've got small classroom sizes, okay? Our average class is 17 students, all right? So when I go back to when I studied my bachelor degree at a public university here in Melbourne, I was in a lecture room with about 200 students and one lecturer standing at the front, and you'd sit there for an hour and you would leave. This is nothing like that. It's an interactive classroom that we have where you get the attention you need. We have lecturers who are engaged with the industry, especially within businesses, what we're talking about today. They are on boards, they are in the profession, they run consultancies. So the information you're getting is up to date and relevant. And that's all for the presentation. Thank you everyone for your time and attention. And any questions you have, please reach out to the Aussizz team, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you out.
Thank you, Linden. Thank you so much for that information. And I think the line sums it all. Love what you do. So if you love, as we said, in accounting and HR, whatever industry you love, you can work in that industry either as an accountant or as an HR. So that just sums it up. Thank you so much for that information, Lyndon, with the course information with Torrance University, the entry requirement, the scholarships, and everything. So students, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box below. And now I would like to introduce our student here, Natasha, who has joined us today from Torrance University. She is a current student with Torrance. Natasha, are you here with us?
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm doing good, Natasha. How are you? Thank you for
I'm very
joining.
well.
Thank you for joining with us today in our
You're
Education
welcome.
Summit. Uh, Natasha, could you give a little introduction about yourself? Where are you studying? What course are you studying?
Hi, I am Natasha Shah and I am from India. I just recently completed my master's in professional accounting advanced from Torrance University, Adelaide campus.
Okay, so Masters of Professional Accounting Advanced. Please
Yes,
keep a note here, as Lyndon mentioned, that is the 2 years qualification which you need to qualify for post-study work visa. And that has
yes.
16 subjects, if I'm not wrong, Natasha.
Yes, that is correct. 10 core and 6 elective.
Yes, and she's completed that for Adelaide campus, which is one of the regional campuses which Torrance University has, and one of the most popular ones, I must say.
Yes, that's
Uh,
true.
yes. So, I would just like to ask Natasha, why did you want to study accounting? And can you just explain your aspirations behind it? I mean, did you have a background in accounting? Why exactly this course?
So I did Bachelor's of Commerce from India, and my major was accounting. So my interest in accounting was there from before. And when I was researching, like, what should I do, like, when I wanted to go to Australia and like come here and do my master's here. So I was researching, trying to understand what is the requirements, what are the expectations, and what I can do like for my future, right? So then when I was um
Yeah, so when you were researching for the course and stuff.
Yeah, sorry. So I was researching for the course and stuff, and so I found out that accounting is one of the most wanted career paths that students choose in Australia. And then like there are like plenty of jobs available there, and of course very good. They earn good in that field, so I decided to do my masters in that.
Okay. And Natasha, why Torrance University? I mean, why did you choose? What drew you towards Torrance University?
So I was researching for all these different universities, and then I found out that from Aussizz only I found out that there's Torrance University, and then I started my research for Torrance University. I found out that it is, of course, one of the fast-growing university in Australia, in top 10, everything. The most thing that attracted me towards it is the small classroom sizes, where our coaches and our teachers can actually pay attention towards us. Like, if you ask me, I've completed my whole course. I still personally know my teachers, know my professors. They personally know me. If you tell them who is Natasha, they'll tell you. So yeah, that's the benefit of going in Torrance University. It gives you like a personalized experience.
And what do you say? How was your experience when you started off with Torrance just after your enrollment?
So when I first came in, we had this orientation day where they just, we have to visit the campus. They tell us all the information which we need to know because we are new here. So basically, just introducing us to everything. Yeah, they were very supporting. We also had this like group of students who were like student representative committee in Adelaide campus. They asked all the students if they like they are looking for friends, just to know people. You can come and join us. I went there. I met all of them. I joined the committee. It was really good. It was more like an event planning thing. We used to plan all these little events for students
Okay.
in the university. Yes, it was really amazing.
And what would you say about student support at Torrens and also about your trainers, your lecturers? Um,
So, student support at Torrance University is really amazing. They are very quick and responsive. Like if I have some issues, I'll call them or I'll email them. They'll get back to me as soon as possible. Even the success coaches at Torrance University are amazing. I had to apply for this internship program,
mhm.
and my success coach was literally sitting next to me. We were rectifying my whole career resume and everything. He was trying to explain me how we are supposed to do it, how are they expecting in Australia to submit things, which is like quite different when you come from a different background.
Yeah.
It's so they really help a lot.
Okay. And what would you say about your lecturers, about your professors?
Oh, my professors were really great. Yeah, I'm still in contact with few of them, and they are very, they teach you very nicely. They are of course very well educated people themselves. And if I have any questions or anything, they'll respond me very quickly. Even if like in the class, of course they do. But even if I'm at home studying and I'll email them anything, they'll get back to me as soon as possible. Like literally, I'll wake up next day and I have the response.
Amazing. And what would you say about the facilities and the infrastructure at the university campus?
The Adelaide campus is really nice. I love that campus. It's like a two-floor campus. They have all these different classrooms and big halls for, students. And yeah, it's pretty good. They have this little library. And because since COVID, we actually learned a lot. It was like online classes and everything. So even at that time, if we didn't have internet or stuff at home, we could go to the campus and do it there. We'll get like individual place and computers for every student.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And Natasha, what would you say about your experience with Aussizz Group and how did your consultant help you with your admission process?
Yeah, so I am really lucky that I met Karan. He's working at Aussizz Group, and he really helped me a lot. I asked him to get me an admission in this university, Torrance University, and within like a week, I had the offer letter with me. He just he supported me. Like even if I was missing any document, he'll quickly text me or email me that please give me this document like quickly so I can process your application. And yeah, they were really helping, very supporting.
Thank you. And Natasha, one last thing. What are some of the challenges that you think the fellow students who want to apply, or study in Australia should be aware of? Or any word of advice for students who want to apply for the same course?
So it is accounting. It's not like as easy as you would expect. You really have to study. Even though teachers are very nice, it doesn't mean they're like very easy on you. They'll definitely like be strict when it comes to assessments. So yeah, we have to study, and like in people they do understand that we have jobs and everything here. That's a good thing, but it doesn't mean that anything is going to be easy. We have to work hard and study. Yes, our goal needs to be more clear.
Thank you, Natasha. I think the last advice which you gave is very important that, it's not a very easy road that you can take and, that you can
Yes,
just clear
that is
it. You just need to put in that genuine effort.
that's true.
That is what is required from every student, that the genuine effort should be there.
That's true.
Thank you so much, Natasha, for your genuine and your piece of advice, your experience. I think some of the students here definitely would be happy to hear an HO student talking about the experience what they had studying with the same course accounting that we have been discussing and with Torrance University. And thank you so much for joining us today,
You're
Natasha.
welcome.
Um, I'll just look at the questions now which students have been asking. Um, there's Tharshan. He says, I'm from Sri Lanka having a BSc management degree and I have experience in HR. And I'm planning a higher study in Australia. I need guidance in selecting a better master's degree. Any suggestion for that? Linden, what would you say? What program can the student take at Torrance University?
Sorry, just to clarify the question, are you looking for an HR course, or do you just got a background in HR and wanting to move into a management course?
Tharshan, could you give in? Yeah, Tharshan is here. I can see. Tharshan, can you type in? Are you looking to study in HR, or you just have an experience in HR and or a better course?
Look, I'm going to say either way. Regardless of that response, I'm going to recommend the same course either way. So, like I was talking about in my presentation, the best way to study HR management at Torrance University is via the MBA Advanced, in that you can structure your course how you want. Now, if you've got experience in HR, you're not necessarily looking to study that, I would still recommend the Master of Business Administration, because if you're looking for general management expertise and experience, that's the course that's going to get it to you. Because the idea behind the Master of Business Administration is it gives you an understanding of the fundamental functions of an organization. So HR management is just one part of it. There's finance, there's marketing, there's sort of communications, there's so many leadership, there's so many other factors that you need to sort of incorporate into understanding how a business runs. Now, that doesn't mean that because you're doing an MBA, you need to be an accountant to do finance, or you need to be an operations management to do ops management. The idea is that you come in not really knowing and you learn it. So you come out the other side understanding the way that an organization runs. And so if that relates to HR and you want to specialize in HR, then you can do that. If you don't actually want to specialize in HR, but you have that background, but you just want that management experience, then the MBA is going to allow you to achieve that same goal. So regardless, I would recommend the Master of Business Administration Advanced, 2-year program. It's one of our most popular, it's probably our second most popular course that we have out of about 300. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Linden. I advise the same to the student, because you do not have a degree in HR. So rather than going for a master's in HR specifically, it's best to go for an MBA where you can pick and choose the specialization, and you can do a few subjects in HR because you do have experience in that. So thank you for that question, Tharshan. Hope we have helped answer that. There's another question which I can see, but that is in regards to the 482 visa. Prasheel, I can see that you have a question in regards to the full skill assessment for 482. What I would advise you is to attend our migration session, which is again for the same occupations, which is an accounting and HR. My colleague Hina would put the details for that session in the chat box. You can, and that session is just starting at 5 p.m. So just in time, you can attend that session, and that session may help you to find out details on the skill assessment and the migration options for these occupations. For any other questions, guys, you can always contact us. I'll be putting my contact details here as well, so you can get in touch with me if you have any questions in relation to these courses or any other courses. And I've put my email ID here, and as well as my mobile number. So you can get in touch with me, you can email me, you can text me on this number, and I hope we are able to help you out in picking up the right course for you. So thank you, Linden, and thank you, Natasha, for joining us today for this session. And thank you, all of you, all the participants, all the audience to join us. Hope we have helped answer the queries that you have. And we do have some sessions running from 5 to 6 as well. All the links are there in the chat box. So do click on them and do provide us a review. The link for that has been shared as well. We are looking forward to your genuine feedback. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm just sharing the link. So if you can review us, that would be appreciated. Thank you.